So, because you guys, I'm pretty sure you guys have both seen it. And one of my students recommended it to me, and the student has good taste, so I trust him. I said, you know what, everyone's talking about it. Last night I watched The Menu.
Love The Menu.
Great movie.
Weird, maybe the weirdest movie I've ever seen.
Movie.
When in the end, they dress them up all as s'mores, and they light the fire, and they like melt.
It gets ridiculous.
It's fucking weird.
Did you like it though?
No.
Oh, you didn't?
No, you didn't like it because it was creepy.
It was
you
just
didn't
too
like
fucking weird. I don't know.
Interesting.
That's saying a lot. I mean, I feel like we'd love it.
No, I like so weird, but like it was just like Voldemort's like gonna kill everyone. I just like
Have you seen? Well, you probably wouldn't like
just
it.
when he turns to Anya Taylor-Joy, he goes, "Yeah, everyone's dying tonight."
Yeah. What'd you think of John Leguizamo's performance?
Which one was he?
He's the guy, the actor.
He was pretty funny. He was funny, but like
I liked it.
it was.
I like movies like that.
Weird.
Have you seen The Lobster yet or no?
No, not yet.
You should
I've
watch
seen
it. That's
Killing
good.
of a Sacred Deer, though. That's a good one.
Yeah, Lobster's really good. Midsummer's really good. I like those weird, outlandish
Midsummer's
movies.
a little overrated to me, but
Why do you say that?
I don't know. Some of it's weird too weird. It's being weird to be weird. It felt like, but it is Ari Aster.
I was gonna say my favorite.
Something Wrong with the Johnson's pretty good.
That's my favorite one.
Yeah,
that's one of the best movies I've ever seen.
I have a script ready to be shot that my buddy wrote. That is exactly like that.
That is
like it's as outlandish as that, and it's a really good
What
story.
I saw they played a new trailer for the Beau is Afraid, the Joaquin one, in front of John Wick, and I'm in now.
Oh, good.
Much better trailer.
Good.
Yeah, it actually told you the story. It's good.
That is good. I like stuff like that. That's good.
He looks really afraid in the poster. Beau does look
Always
afraid.
afraid.
Yeah, there you go.
That's all right.
I have a question for you.
Sure.
When someone sneezes, how many sneezes do you allow before it's too many sneezes?
Before you stop saying bless you?
Okay, so maybe I'm psychotic. I don't know. For me, right, the first sneeze is always like, bless you, God bless you, whatever comes out, whatever I say, right? Second one, I'm like, all right. Third one, I hung up the phone. This kid who I'm talking about, you know who you are, sneezes in like sets of 5, and I just couldn't do it. We're trying to get a sentence out. It's like, click, done, goodbye, see you around. I can't do it.
Could you see him, or was it phone?
No, we were on the phone. He goes, oh, hold on.
Okay.
I go, bless you, bud. You know?
That changes it, because if I can see them revving up for a second sneeze,
I'll walk away.
I'll wait for all of them to be finished, then say bless you.
You bigger
But
man than me.
If you're on the phone, you can't tell.
I can't do it.
More than 3, I cap it at 3. Anything more than 3, fucking forget it.
Is it a deal breaker in relationships? If you were dating a girl who sneezed a lot, like like a sneeze, and I don't mean a lot like they're sneezing all the time. I mean like when they sneeze, it's in an excessive amount.
Let me put it like this: if I was like on the borderline, like I was seeing a girl, she was like, all right, wasn't crazy, and I'm just thinking about it, and she just starts sneezing, and I just look over. I'd say I'm all set.
Yeah.
I would leave.
Like, who doesn't sneeze, right? Everybody sneezes.
I've ended relationships for lesser reasons, so.
Yeah, no, I hung up the phone, and I was like, wow, I was like actually aggravated for a second, and then I started the list on my phone, and I texted you.
No, I have a lot of grievances myself.
What else? What pisses you
just
off?
like I'm at the gym, and just fucking, I don't know, fucking the guy goes on the treadmill right next to me, maybe there's fucking a whole row of them. Like, what are you fucking doing?
That always,
Get away from me, you fucking weird.
Why is that weird?
Because you gotta, I
kind
do
of
the
like
same
next
thing.
to it a urinal.
Yeah, I want a buffer.
Yes, yes.
Exactly.
That's a great.
You know, if there's a whole row of urinals, you're gonna go right next to me. It's fucking weird. You go beyond.
It's different if they're all packed and that's the only one
it's
open.
the only one. You got to do what you got to do.
Right.
But when you have the whole row, you go next.
You
to
gotta
me.
wonder. Maybe he's got OCD. He's got to use that one or something.
It's got to be a similar feeling then when you like. Let's say you buy a brand new car, right? It doesn't have to be like an expensive car like a Mercedes or anything. Let's say you buy like a new car to you, and you pull in a grocery store or something like that, and you park specifically far away from everybody else.
I respect that.
And when you come outside, there's somebody who's parked right next to you.
That's kind of.
Yeah, that'd be weird.
Except for me, I always park as close as possible to the destination.
Oh, you're a door searcher? Are you a spot seeker?
Yeah.
Will you loop around?
Yeah, I'll loop.
My mother's a looper.
I'll loop.
Yeah, she's a looper.
I'm
That's
looper.
funny.
Yeah.
She go, get my spot. I'm like, Ma, we could have been home already. Could have been the shopping for the week could have been done. You know what
Listen,
I mean?
I like quick, easy access, you know?
Quick and easy. Nothing wrong with that.
And that's
nothing
all
wrong
right.
with quick and easy.
That's all right. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Movie Mob Podcast, episode 42. Jackie Robinson, great player. Good movie, 42. Chadwick Boseman, Harrison Ford.
Why you gotta do it? So good.
Hey, it's a good movie.
That's like the one movie where Harrison Ford doesn't look like Harrison Ford to me.
It's because he doesn't have the hat on.
No, it's like they did something to his face, so they made him gain like 50 pounds for that role.
Made
or
him
something.
racist. Oh, no, actually, he's a good guy.
No, he's a good guy. He's a good guy.
He's the one. He's the only one. He's the only one that's not racist. The rest of them are.
Yeah.
Good movie though. Really good movie.
But guys, welcome back to the podcast. Here we get a great episode today. RJ here, joined by Matt. Nick behind the camera. No Sam this week. He's absent. He's over in Jersey. He's having a good time. Sam takes a lot of trips. You know, he's having a good time. He's
busy
living
guy.
it up.
Popular
he's a busy guy.
We love Sam.
But we got a stacked episode this week. A lot of good topics. So we're gonna start it off here. We're gonna talk. I saw John Wick with Sam, but Sam is unfortunately not here. So I'm gonna give a little non-spoiler review of John Wick 4.
Non-spoiler.
No, because you're gonna see it.
I will see it. You can spoil it if you want, though.
Let me guess.
I'll try
it's
not
about
to.
a guy who shoots a bunch of other guys.
I just won't spoil the ending.
Okay.
Is it going to be the last movie, you think?
Yeah.
This is it?
This is it. They said it was this, but now because it made so much money, the producers are like, we want to do a John Wick 5.
I hate that, dude. I hate that so much.
And without, I don't want to spoil the ending, but I don't know how they do that.
Yeah.
Anyway, I mean, this movie was great. This was I texted you, Matt. I know, it was a Friday 3 p.m. showing. I just wanted to do something because I wasn't working.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
So I'm like, I'll go see John Wick. This movie fucking awesome. This is the best one.
It was
3 hours.
I was going to ask your rankings.
It's the best one. It's not even close, to be honest.
But can you, without giving it away, can you explain why it's the best one?
Because
what makes it different than John Wick 1?
There's 4 big ass action sequences that are crazy. One in a club, one in a Japanese hotel. The cinematography is beautiful, and Donnie Yen is in it. He plays the fold to John Wick, and Bill Skarsgård's the main villain. And just all the performances are good. And I know you hate those just.
No, I watched the first one.
But this it's kind of got a good story. Donnie Yen and John Wick have a pass together, and they're poised against each other for a reason, based off the third film, how that ends.
I mean, let's not get it misconstrued, right? I don't hate these movies. I just don't think that they define cinema the same way that Goodfellas does.
I totally agree with you. But this to me is a masterpiece of the action genre. Yeah.
Would you do this or Bourne movies?
I think I like this movie particularly.
That's what I'm asking.
Yeah. This was really good.
Yeah.
It's just fun. I was hesitant. It was 3 hours, obviously. Do I need a 3-hour John Wick? Yeah.
Action.
But it's and I saw it in Dolby, just out the gate, the bass and it's adrenaline pump the whole movie. Yeah.
It's probably really good.
Listen, you're exhausted by the end of it, but you would love this sequence. There's a sequence where he's clearing out this building and the camera goes up, and they must have built the entire set, all these rooms, and you're following him you're looking down at a video game.
Oh, that's cool.
And he's going through the houses, and you're just watching him go through it's just crazy. There's a huge thing with a staircase. I mean...
Well, I think the part of it, too, not to cut you off, but part of the reason that they innovate these camera movements and everything else is because it's if they don't, then it just ends up being the same thing over and over and over again.
But, there's swords in this. When they were in Japan, the guy that was in the end of the third one comes back and stuff. Donnie Yen's blind again, he was in Rogue One, and he's got a stick.
He's a good blind guy.
He is, yeah.
The very first one is where the dog, where they break their house. Yeah,
but it's so crazy. If you've only seen the first one and then watching this one, how it's changed so much.
I feel like each one's gotten better.
Yeah, and they've gone crazier too. The production, it's kind of like an indie film. The first one,
I like the first
this
one.
One is the budget's huge. The set pieces are crazy. There's a whole what's that thing in Paris where they drive around the circle? You know that thing with the big monument in the middle,
like a rotary.
Yeah, but it's got that famous thing in the middle.
A rotary with a fountain.
Sure, but there's a whole action sequence there where they're fighting through and all the cars are hitting people. It's pretty nuts.
That's cool, man.
And I think you would appreciate it.
Oh, yeah. I always appreciate, especially if it's not all CGI.
Yeah.
I always appreciate when there's coordination and it takes a team effort and everything else. Not that CGI doesn't require a team, but everything shot in front of a blue screen. I'm like, here we go. You know?
But I don't know. I was pleasantly surprised. I went in low because we're not huge John Wick. We like it.
Casual.
But now, this one, I was pumped. I kind of want to see it again. If anyone wants to go,
I might. No, I might actually.
It's pretty awesome.
Where is it playing in Dolby? At AMC. At AMC. Liberty Tree?
Yeah, and the first sequence, he's punching something, and you're shaking. The bass.
You kind of got me a little pumped for it. I mean, I'd watch it.
It's pretty awesome.
I don't know. I might be, cooking something up this weekend.
Right.
If not, though, yeah. See, it's good.
I'd see it again.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But if not, I definitely.
Yeah.
Keep it out
if Matt goes, I'll go.
Yeah. This is shaping up to be a great year for movies, though. We got Mario next. I mean, this is.
I know that's the best one
so far. And this is like, okay, great.
Is Halle Berry? Is she in this one?
She's not.
Fuck.
No.
What about Common?
Common's not either. No, but they do tie up the whole saga in a good way. And, you know, like I said, they want to do another one, which I don't think is good. This ended on a perfect note, and they're doing that spinoff called Ballerina with Ana de Armas, which I think will be good. Like, now we get...
great.
I'm fine with her taking the... You know what I'm saying? She's not in this movie, but they kind of set it up a little bit. So, I don't know. Cool. Listen, I love this, guys. Go see John Wick. If you want to go see a movie this weekend, check it out. It's worth your time. Let's get into it. Mando. The Mandalorian episode... What is this, 3? Because we're one behind.
I think it's 4. This one's 4. Yeah, this one's 4.
Sorry. So as I said last week, guys, due to scheduling stuff, we're usually going to be one episode behind when we review this. But episode 4 came out, and you know, Matt, we haven't loved this season so far. No. I will say I did watch episode 5 this morning before I came, and it was the best episode of the season. A lot of action, and it finally gave us the story, which I think is important.
Oh, nice. 5 episodes in.
5 episodes in. But let's leave that out.
Okay.
Episode 4, we got the big answer. Right, Matt? Who saved Grogu?
Yeah.
Well, it's Jar Jar Binks saved Grogu. Listen, man, I mean, this is not... I mean, Ahmed Best went through some shit back when The Phantom Menace came out. This is a cool moment for him to do it. Was I hoping it would be someone, like, more...
Relevant
to the story, yes. But, I mean, I'm not going to knock the guy. I mean, this is a cool moment for him, but they kind of built this up, and it was like...
Well,
you know...
See, I know I would share that opinion.
Yes.
But I'm not on the Star Wars. I'm on Twitter. I don't know anything.
Yeah.
So I had no idea he was going to be in this.
Oh, I didn't either.
I had 0.
Yeah.
And so then I watched the episode, and that was my favorite part when he rescued fucking Grogu.
Dude, Order 66 never fails.
I was going to say, you put me on Coruscant, you get me those fucking clone troopers. They got the fucking blue lines down the house. Like, I get fucking... I
thought Anakin was going to come through that door.
I was going to imagine.
That would have been sick.
They should have just shown, like, the back of his hood. Like the lightsaber comes out, but like you never see his face.
Maybe a kid's head somewhere.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
the younglings. He was great. I like this scene, and I agree, dude. He went through so much shit. Like, I don't know. People were way too hard on him, I thought.
Oh yeah.
Even if you didn't like it, I don't know why. It's like it's not his fault. Fucking that was what they wanted to do.
It's what George wanted. Yeah.
I mean, so I don't know. It was cool to see because I know like he took it like really personally and like went through some dark stuff. So it was really cool to see him back in the spotlight in a positive note and. I don't know, but hopefully there was a positive reception towards his
page. No, it seems like there was. And like you said, seeing Coruscant is the best. We've been seeing it in Andor and a lot in Mando. I love Coruscant.
Well, it's nice because we grew up on the prequels.
Yeah, it's nostalgic.
And everyone shits on the prequels, but I feel like our generation, the kids who grew up on the prequels, and now getting to the age, so everywhere you see more appreciation for the prequels.
Right.
They're acknowledged more in the shows, on Twitter, Reddit, like everywhere, like people will like acknowledge them. Like, you know what? We grew up on these. They may not be as good as the originals, but you know, they have some really cool
parts. They have
parts
something to offer. Yeah. And I love that Dave Filoni and Favreau aren't afraid to explore that.
Exactly.
You know,
because it happened. It's part of it.
No, 100%. But I mean, other than that, what the hell happened in this episode?
Oh,
a kid went
awful.
missing.
It was terrible.
And they went out like again. Like, no what good. Are we doing? You know,
it was. I'm not gonna lie. Like I was watching, I was like, this feels like. I'm too old to be watching. You know what I mean? It felt like a kid's show.
Yeah.
Which I guess Star Wars is for kids.
Right.
But like, I don't know.
But did you feel that way in the first two seasons? I didn't.
Not once.
Yeah.
The first 2 seasons were awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Fucking, like, I was... And, like, the first 2 seasons, too, you would have, like, a side episode where they would do shit like this. But it'd either be cool as hell, so, like, you didn't care.
Yep.
Or, like, there was an overall, like, plot towards the season already established. So, like, you know what? If they take a little pit stop here, like, I'm okay with it because, like, I know what's coming up.
Yeah.
But like when you, I don't know, for my opinion, when a lot hasn't happened in the first 3 episodes, then you do an episode like this.
It's hard to get invested.
Yeah, it's just like, all right, like this is another waste of time.
Well, that's a good point because if you look back at the first episode of season 1, you know, you're following Mando, and then at the end you get the reveal that he's got Baby Yoda.
Huge.
So right off the bat, even though they do side missions, you know the end goal is trying to protect the kid.
Yeah.
Same thing in season 2, it's to get him to a Jedi. Here, like I just said,
really don't know.
You don't know until episode 5, which I just watched, which is frustrating because what do we do in the first, you know?
Also, the plot, like it's going to be something with fucking Mandalorian and Bo-Katan involved and all that shit. But that's also, I just don't think it's as interesting and straightforward as fucking just get Baby Yoda here.
Right.
Or protect him or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like a lot of people, like casual fans, like like a Broniger, I'm sure fucking loves seeing Mandalorian and everything.
Yeah.
But like a casual fan, you know what I mean? Just like some random Joe Schmo
if you're not a big Clone Wars or Rebels guy, yeah. And there's a cool little Rebels cameo in this new episode this week, but I don't like you wouldn't even. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not even gonna know.
Yeah.
When it happens, I won't know.
Right. So. But I mean, listen, Dave Filoni has said that they're probably it seems like they're building up to a big crossover event between all the shows that they're doing, which I hope maybe we'll see Luke back. And there were rumors that Harrison Ford was on set for this season.
I'm shocked. He wants to come back.
I mean, the money talks.
I was gonna say they must have paid him a fuck ton.
Well, I have a friend who worked on Mando season 3, who I won't reveal his name because he probably signed an NDA. But I texted him. I said, "Was Harrison Ford on set?" I heard a rumor, and he just sent me some winking emojis and stuff. So I think he's probably.
I would have told you. I would have told you straight up. I would have just said yes,
and then
and he got fired.
Disney guys come down on like a SWAT team. But,
that's fine. That's fine.
Listen, man. Yeah, I mean, this episode to me was just like more of the same, and I think you'll like episode 5 when we talk about that next week. But let's keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? Nice. We need some story here.
Shit.
But we got some big news this week, a lot of news. But while we're on the topic of Star Wars, this is 3 weeks in a row we've been talking about this shit. But Damon Lindelof obviously left the project. And now they were quick to replace him, I think, a day or two later with Stephen Knight. Now, Matt, you might not know Stephen Knight by his name.
Okay.
But he's the guy who created and wrote Peaky Blinders.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask.
Yes.
Like, who is this guy? What has he done, this guy with the big nose here?
Now, he's a good writer. He's written a lot of good stuff. Would I have picked the guy who made Peaky Blinders to do a Star Wars movie?
No.
Not particularly. But it seems like they're ready for whoever wants a job. And we said it last week, Matt. Yeah. Who does want the job? Probably not a lot of people after this. Yeah,
it'll be like lightsabers, scally caps, and cigarettes.
Yeah,
that's
dude, I'm down.
Yeah. No, I mean this guy. He definitely has a schnoz.
Yeah,
I've been. I don't know. Just everywhere I go, I've been seeing big noses lately.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So I don't know.
He's British.
Yeah, there you go. I'm British.
It's like a nervous tick with you. Anytime someone says British, you go British.
I have to do. I like Tourette's. I have to say it. This guy, like you said, Peaky Blinders, great show, big fan. Wouldn't associate it with Star Wars.
No, I don't see a connection.
But, maybe they go to old Birmingham, England. Smoking some cigarettes, get some whiskey.
Right.
Maybe they fix the races. Maybe Luke runs the races.
Yeah. I mean, I could see it maybe if they're dealing with like crime, the smuggling stuff in Star Wars. The syndicate. Maybe. But I'm not giving them credit as to thinking that deep into it.
Oh, I'm not.
You know what I'm saying? Obviously it was a shame that Damon Lindelof left, but honestly, Stephen Knight's an upgrade. To me.
Oh, wow.
I think he's a better writer.
Okay.
He's written
he's a
more.
great writer. I mean, Peaky Blinders. Listen, they're going after success. It's all numbers driven. I'm telling you. If Peaky Blinders was a crappy show, I'm not saying it is. I'm saying if it was, they would not hire this guy.
I got a question then. Over under 40%, this guy ends up staying through as the writer. Under 40%?
I mean, at this point, with all the changes?
Yeah.
You kind of go...
I'm going
40 is a good number.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe right at 40%.
Yeah, I'd say it's about around then. It's definitely under 50.
It just feels like every guy they hire fucking gets canned.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, I don't know. Unless this guy just literally says, like, I could give a fuck, like, the product and, like, I could give a fuck about my vision. Just give me the fucking bag.
Right.
That's what they need. They just need a yes man who's like, I could give a fuck about my vision. We put out like a subpar movie. Not that they want it to be subpar.
Right.
If that's just like, if it's movie's fine, it's average, nothing to do with my vision, but they throw a fucking bag at me.
Right.
I'm sure you'll find somebody to do that.
To do it, 100%.
You know what I mean?
But where's the Peaky Blinders movie? We're supposed to be getting that.
Dude, I need Tommy. I need an ending to Tommy.
We need the ending for Tommy.
But fucking Shelby.
Listen, I mean, it's just another wheel in the Star Wars world that's probably gonna fall off and break.
I'll break it.
Anyway,
that's it.
Well, I'll believe it when I see it. When I can buy tickets to see the movie, I'll believe it.
It says Stephen Knight.
But I mean, Star Wars Celebration is coming up very soon.
You going?
So we might get a title. No, it's in London.
Oh, London.
Yeah. There you go.
Have some
British.
British.
But
have some chocolate.
So maybe we'll get some more news, maybe a title or something. So
here comes the trolley. Like
Harry
Potter.
Dude, we'll take the lot.
The trolley.
We'll take the lot.
I'm reading Harry Potter right now. 3 books in.
It's not
I've
bad,
never
right?
read it before.
Platform 9 3/4.
So I'm halfway through Prisoner of Azkaban.
I gotta tell you, the first 4 books.
Yes.
Right. My mother, I was very young. My mother used to read them to me and my brother at like bedtime.
Yeah.
And she would do all the voices.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh,
that's
it was
cute.
so cool, dude. Like that was a movie in my head, like listening to that before it was an actual movie.
That's cool.
So cool, man. Like that's what it's like. It's a whole, I don't know. That's a cultural phenomenon.
They're a good comfort book. You know, it's a warm book to read.
You
know?
snuggle up.
Yeah.
Some hot
It's a cool. It's an underdog story, and it's a really cool. I don't know. It's a cool. Cool story.
All right.
It's good stuff. But anyway,
Listen, I know we're not TMZ, RJ. But this next one.
This next one.
Gotcha news.
I usually don't like to comment on the TMZ type stuff,
but this
is a big one because we've been talking about him for a while, and that's Jonathan Majors.
Oh,
we saw him this year in Ant-Man already, and Creed. We loved him in Creed. He's been seeing these U.S. Army ads too with him in the thing that they've taken down.
Looks like he took the boxing a little too seriously.
Yeah, but yes, word came out Saturday night, late Saturday night, that he was arrested in New York City, I believe, for domestic assault, strangulation. They apparently arrested him on the spot. Not a lot of news came out initially, but then some more came out. The lawyer said that he had evidence that would absolve him of all the charges and whatever. We haven't heard that evidence yet.
No, I mean, what is he supposed to say, right? So like
his lawyer,
his lawyer's not going to be like, "Yep, he did it." Yep.
Right, but then some more information came out that his girlfriend was admitted to the hospital recently.
So they were in an Uber or a taxi or something in Manhattan, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Uber.
and they were arguing about some. She thought that she saw a different woman's name or whatever get text message to the phone.
Okay.
Which it said in the initial article that she had confronted him about it. I'm going to give my opinion on this, and I don't care if it's a hot take.
Sure.
She confronted him about it, and then there was an argument that ensued, and then I believe he called, right? He didn't end up going home with her. Like she went to her place and he stayed and went to his place. But apparently there was something that happened in the cab. So
that's the mystery point, is what happened in the cab.
Right. Okay. Exactly. Okay. So there was some sort of fight or argument, whatever. Something happened. An altercation of some sort happened inside the back of this Uber/taxi, whatever.
Yep.
That then the next morning, she called the police and went down and filed a police report.
See, I heard that he called the police.
No.
Oh,
he got arrested because any time that there's in the I don't know if it's the state of New York, it might be the city of Manhattan, I don't know what it is, but there is some code or law or something somewhere, which I don't necessarily think is a bad thing, by the way, that whenever a domestic violence is I don't know, like when the accusation of that is made, an arrest has to take place. Doesn't mean you're going to jail, but they get that person, the accuser or the accused, they take them off the street immediately. You know what I mean? Because because if it's a real thing, a lot of these people be like, "You called the cops," and then they go back. You know what I mean? And they go crazy.
Yeah.
So it's a good, you pull them off immediately, whatever it is. Right now.
Mm-hmm. Oh boy.
With that being said, it's not about whether or not I think it happened or didn't happen.
Okay.
But judging by the context of the situation, she definitely was the aggressor. She confronted him about whatever was on his phone.
Based on the story, you could lean that way. Like, yeah.
Right?
Sure.
I mean,
yeah.
There was some sort of aggression that was coming out.
But I had heard that he expressed concerns beforehand about her mental health before this even happened.
But one has nothing to do with the other. He could still beat the crap out of somebody who has mental health issues.
Sure.
Right?
I mean, listen, I obviously hope this isn't true. I mean, I haven't.
Of course.
Yeah. Because like we said, he's a great actor.
And if it is true, it's a damn shame, and he should spend some time in jail.
Yeah.
He should go on punishment.
100%. Yeah.
You know? With that being said, it just seems a little cattywampus.
I don't know. I mean, Matt, what do you think? Because to me, like, the vibe I got from him in interviews and stuff, he seemed like a very cordial guy. But I mean, I guess you could.
Dude, he started crying in an interview I saw.
Right. Yeah.
You know, I mean, no one knows what happens except him and her.
So,
and
so you can play like he said, and God. Yeah. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Like
supposedly there's video evidence that exonerates him. That's what his lawyer says. Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
Now know how I've been moderately addicted. Moderately.
You like law. You like the law stuff.
I was gonna say to TikTok recently, but I've been a little obsessed with the scrolling at TikTok, right? And there are many videos from Ubers and taxis and stuff where the driver will put a dash cam except face it backwards toward himself.
Oh, that could be the evidence.
So they can see. I saw a video recently, very short thing, but I saw a video recently where these 3 girls were in the back of an Uber, and the guy now I don't know why the guy left it there, but the guy had a tip jar in the middle, on the middle console, in the front seat toward the back. And it was it looked like a tissue box almost, but you could see into it that there was money in there. And right as they're getting out, she's like looking all over the place, and she reached in and grabbed all the cash out of the tip jar, the middle chick, and and they all bounced out of the thing.
I saw one where girls in the back started hitting this woman who was driving.
Oh my god! I mean, this kind of stuff happens all the time. It's great. Like if I drove an Uber or a Lyft or whatever it is for a living, I'd have a camera facing the passengers, 110%.
And I mean, you're probably right. That's probably, if there is video evidence, what it would be.
Right.
Of course,
Right. I mean, dude. Listen. End of the day. I'm not going to victim blame here. If he did it, if he strangled her, if he hit her, if he did anything that was in an aggressive, not a self-defense manner.
Right. Yeah.
Right? If she was like, who's that bitch on your phone? And then starts smacking him around or something, and he's like just trying to push her off of him because they're in a car, a moving vehicle.
Yeah.
That's one thing. Anything above that,
yeah.
Bro, you're an adult.
Fly.
You're an adult. You don't ever put your hands on a woman.
Especially in the position he's in, too. It's like, what are you doing, man?
Crazy?
Yeah.
Never, ever.
But I mean, listen, we don't know yet. So obviously, we still hope now that, it's not true and that we can continue to watch his career. But, we'll see.
I hope so, man, because he's really hot right now. And he's having a really good career.
How do you think Michael B. Jordan feels? He just said they were going to be Pacino and De Niro,
Interesting combo.
Yeah.
I think they meant Scorsese and De Niro, but that's all right.
Yeah, maybe. But
Pacino and De Niro have done 2 movies together.
That's what I said. Yeah, when he said that, I'm like, what do you watch?
Well, dude,
and in one of them, they're not even together on screen.
Yeah, that's bizarre.
Yeah.
Also just fucking Marvel the next 10 years.
Oh, yeah. What do you think Kevin Feige's reaction to this was?
I don't know.
They planned their whole new phase on him as the villain.
Yeah, so.
I mean, they could just recast him, I guess, but that's definitely going to be interesting.
It's weird, man. Well, listen, I hope the best for everybody involved, and that's sad. And you know what? Even if it's all true that he didn't do anything and that the girl does have some sort of mental health issue, I hope she gets the help that she needs to.
Yeah,
it's sad. It's a scary sad. Jealousy is it's a sad thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's all, and that's all right.
Yeah, and that's all right. But I will say to the Marvel thing, I guess because they're doing the multiverse thing, they could easily be like, "Oh, here's a new actor. This is a variant of Kang,"
so,
But obviously, he's delivered a good performance so far, so you hope he continues. But anyway, one more topic for news today. Lady Gaga. We've been talking about her a lot because she's in Joker 2, and we got some set photos now. We get an idea of what she's looking like as Harley Quinn in this sequel that I'm getting more and more excited about.
I pulled, just so you know, I pulled video from TikTok.
Pull it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
They're just... there's no sound.
So it looks like, now I'm just going to break out into some theories, but I think a lot of people were wondering if this whole movie was going to take place within Arkham, but it's clear that it's not. Looks like they're at a courthouse or something.
Or maybe when she's being released or taken in or something, she's clearly very famous. But
I noticed there were some signs, too, of people holding up signs like, "I want to marry you, Joker." So there's definitely going to be some crazy people like... I'm interested to see where they're going with this story.
Yeah, there's
because obviously they said that it's going to be slightly a musical.
This one's cool right here. You can see she does she kisses this lady, and
oh god,
if you see right there, if you see right there, she had the there's 2 cameras. That's all I was going to say.
Yeah.
Multi-camera setup. They got the jib.
Yeah, but see free Joker and stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, this is the thing, right? So at the end of the first Joker movie, with Joaquin Phoenix. If you haven't seen it, go see it. And sorry, spoilers, but if you haven't seen it, at the end of it, the whole city is going kind of crazy.
Right, and
they're all
kind of
dressing
erupted.
up.
Yeah,
right. So now I think that whatever is going on with them, the fact that this is that there's multiple people there with the green hair or the red hair and the Joker stuff. It's
some fanatics.
So that's who's there. I think they treat them like they're celebrities.
Yeah, Willem Dafoe. They asked him in an interview about him playing Joker if he would want to, and he said he had a good pitch about him being like a doppelganger Joker against Joaquin's, like pretending to be the Joker. That would be a good movie if they end up making this a trilogy. bring Willem Dafoe in. But I don't know, Matt. Still, we haven't seen a trailer or anything, a lot of photos. But how do you think she looks? To be honest, that looks like something she would just wear normally.
I was gonna say, you never know.
Probably where they cast her.
But dude, I feel like she looked good in the makeup and shit.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like initially, like I was like, do we need this? Like I feel like the first one was good standalone.
Mm-hmm.
Like now that it's happening,
right?
Like,
you
know
gotta,
what I mean?
It's happening.
Like it's happening, and like you get to see Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn, dude. And like what you said is like, as the plot, she's gonna be like his therapist.
Yeah,
like
that's usually how the story
goes. Like that's kind of cool. Like I don't know, that actually interests me.
Yeah.
So dude, I'm like fucking excited, man. Like I don't know, there's something about the Joker character, dude.
I know.
Everyone loves the fucking Joker.
Right.
He's I don't know.
It was super interesting. RJ sent me this video of the psychiatrist guy that was breaking down all the different Batman characters or all different Batman supervillains, and he actually said that the Joker. The one thing about the Joker was that he didn't see a lot of neurological disorders.
He said because like in The Dark Knight, he's like has a plan. He knows what he's doing is wrong.
Right. Two-Face, tons of stuff. Penguin, tons of stuff.
Yeah.
Like neuropsychosis stuff.
Yeah, he said he belongs in prison, not an asylum. Yeah,
exactly.
Which is interesting.
Yeah, super interesting.
He's like the smartest guy out there, Joker.
That's that was his point. It's like he's thought through it all. It's not like
he's not an idiot.
I mean, he did say he was obviously a psychopath, but like
he's a mean guy.
I agree with Matt on the sense that that the first one could have been a standalone thing. I do, so I find this kind of interesting. After the first one came out, what's the director's name?
Todd Phillips.
Todd Phillips was saying that like this is not supposed to be part of the Batman universe. So I'm a little hesitant to say that I like the idea in general of a Harley Quinn being in there because it's another Batman
Well,
character.
I mean, he said that, and also the movie ends with Bruce Wayne's parents getting killed in the alley.
I get it. I get it. But I'm just saying, like, it's not supposed to be a Batman movie.
No, I don't.
You know,
what
the
are you
Joker
saying?
was a separate. So listen, just like Matt said, it's happening, right?
Yeah.
So I'm excited, and I loved the first movie, so I'm probably gonna see this one too. I hope they just don't take it too far. Like, I hope the studio execs don't kind of like.
I don't think we're gonna see Batman. Because we already have James Gunn's going to have a new Batman now, and then we have Pattinson's Batman. I don't think they'd bring a third one. And he's only 10 in that movie, in the first Joker.
When do you think it'll die, RJ?
What? Superhero movies?
No, well, I was just thinking about it. Like, how many more years of, like, Batman can we have? Like, we're going on what? Like, Adam West was Batman in, the 60s on TV?
Well, I mean, we're getting pretty close to...
Well, it's kind of like Bond, you know?
Yeah, right.
Just like
it
is. But how often do they make I don't disagree, but how often do they make a Bond movie?
I mean, once you get an actor going, I feel like you get one every 2 years.
Pump them out.
Like Daniel Craig's was. Sometimes a few more years in those cases, but I mean, I don't think anytime soon, but
it's a lot of Batman, that's all.
What's going to be interesting though is pretty soon these characters are going to enter public domain because it's going to be like 100 years after the person who created it died.
Yeah, I think it's a 70.
So then anyone could make a Superman movie unless DC and Warner Brothers can hold the rights to that somehow.
I guarantee they will fight it if they can.
Yeah.
If they can do it, they will.
That would be interesting if then everyone could make a Batman movie. That would be weird. Yeah, but I don't know. Not anytime soon. I think Batman's definitely got the pull. And like we talked about last week, he has so many good villains that they haven't even scratched the surface of some of those villains.
Exactly. Yeah.
So as long as they keep it original, we'll see. But I don't know. I'm excited for Joker 2. But so Matt, not a Succession guy.
Nope.
But Succession's premiere came out the other day. So Matt is going to unfortunately leave us today, and Nick and I are going to break down the first episode of this final season. But Matt, it was a pleasure having you on.
Oh, thanks, man.
As always.
Appreciate it.
Start Succession. Maybe you can catch up before the finale.
Well, I'm a big Greg guy. I love Greg.
Yeah,
right?
I think you'd like the show,
Kendall
Matt.
Roy.
I actually do think.
No, I think Sam would like it
Maybe
too.
I'll watch it. Maybe after I finish I'll watch it.
Yeah.
Whenever you look at the old guy in the middle there, Logan, just think of me.
All right.
Yeah.
Think of me.
Logan Roy, right? Logan Roy.
Good, funny, some laughs in here too. It's a good one.
It is fun.
It's a satire drama, but I think you'd like it.
All right. God bless.
Everyone say bye to Matt.
Have a blessed day, blessed week. Tell your parents you love them.
We love you, man.
All right.
And that's all right. What a pleasure it was having Matt on, as always. We love Matt. We hope he watches Succession. Jeez, I can't speak. But Nick, we're alone now, so we got to watch. This is like the Oscars live stream. Hopefully, it doesn't. A lot less Negronis, though.
Yeah, but just as much fun.
Yeah. Just as much fun. I mean, Succession's back.
Thank God.
We love this show. It's the final season. which we and the cast learned about it like the same time.
Apparently.
Yeah. But listen, I mean, good first episode. So obviously season 3, spoilers, guys, obviously if you haven't been watching Succession, but season 3 ended with Logan kind of going after buying Gojo, which was the company that Skarsgård, I forget his character's name.
Yeah, he's like a Portnoy kind of character.
Yeah, a little Elon action too, I could see. Yeah. And then he kind of did that, you know, the potential of selling Waystar to him. And he did that behind the back of Kendall, Shiv, and Roman.
So he hasn't done it officially yet.
Right, but they didn't know about it was in discussion.
Yes, and then they totally were undercut because their shares of voting shares or whatever were in contract with
their mom,
who sold them out for a piece of property
with the divorce papers,
which was.
And then obviously the only reason that happened though was because someone told Logan,
it was Tom.
that they were coming, and it was Tom. And I love that moment,
so good,
because it's the final moment where Tom is done taking shit from everyone, Shiv, everyone. He's like, I'm doing this to further my career, and further my relationship with Logan. So that was a badass moment from Tom.
The more this show goes on, the more I like Tom as a like when I talk about character development and everything else. He is such a well-rounded. Acting in this show is hands down the best acting I think I've ever seen on a character. Yeah, because he's not really like that.
No,
but if you just hear like the inflection, the hesitation, because he's so nervous when he talks to Greg about certain thing, he's so brilliant, man. This guy is so good.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But yeah, so obviously that's where we left off. Big cliffhanger there, and we open up. It seems like I don't know how much time has passed, but at least like a few months I think have passed in between.
But we're down to the last 2 days before the Gojo deal.
Yes. So now we have Logan, Roman, Tom, and Greg are on one side, and we have the siblings all together, other than Connor. Connor's, you know, still pursuing the presidential campaign, which is funny. I'm sure that's going to, you know, come to a conclusion too at the end there. But Kendall, Shiv, and Roman are together, and now we have this big face-off because they've never been together. They've never been unified. It's always been Kendall on his own. And I think they're all just sick of Logan playing around with them and stuff. So it's cool that we finally have this big thing, which looking back was kind of the setup from the beginning. You know, Logan's always been the big guy they have to take down. So they want to start a new company. They were fiddling around with the names. I think they've settled on New Gen Roy's, right? Is what they're going to call themselves.
100.
Right, that was the first one. I forget if they changed it or not. But
yeah, there's something like that. I mean, so if you look back over the whole series, season 1 was Kendall's chance or Kendall's drive to be CEO of the company failed. Season 2 was Shiv's. Season 3 is Roman's. Yeah, and they all fail. Or in Logan's eyes, they all fail. That's a good point.
Yeah,
right?
I didn't think of it.
Oh yeah, I'm so obsessed, dude. I love this show. I think it's very interesting that. Because of, I think Logan kind of realizes that he's given his kids everything. They've never really had to work for anything, and he's trying to mitigate their spoiledness with the insults and the psychological warfare and everything else, and it clearly doesn't work with any of them. Interestingly enough, though, with that being said, the characters still mature and arc and kind of because if season 1, episode 1, Kendall almost said Kendall Jenner, Kendall Roy is such a prick. He is the daddy's boy. Daddy owns the company, so I'm going to take over someday. I'm the oldest son, whatever, right? Even though Connor's the oldest son. That's a great scene when he says, "I'm the oldest son."
Yes,
that's a great scene, dude. But he fails miserably. Because of, you know, his father and the drug addiction and everything else that he has going on with him. Shiv thinks that she's entitled. The fact that Shiv would even like try and go for the CEO position shows how spoiled she is.
Yeah.
She has nothing to do with the company at all, and never has. And Roman is a big child. I mean, he's just a grown adult,
but I think,
child.
You know, to your point about the arcs, I think Roman's had the biggest arc out of anyone because in season
where
1, he would never say anything against Logan.
Yeah, when they do the vote of no confidence.
Yeah, and now finally we saw in this episode Roman, and kind of in the last end of season 3. Yeah, he finally stands up to him.
Yeah, and he's like, "Please, we're asking you, just don't do this."
Right.
And it's a great it's a really cool moment, and they now kind of at the end of season 3 all kind of really understand and feel how Kendall felt at the end of season 1.
Yes.
Like I think they're all in the same, because if you look at Kendall in at the end of season 3, he's kind of just going around patting everybody on the back, going like,
really,
yeah, like I know, like see,
yeah.
this is how it feels. So it's a very interesting moment for all three of them. Roman's completely destroyed. I thought it was great. Then we open up season 4, and Shiv and Tom are separated.
Yep.
Which is interesting.
Isn't surprising. I feel like we saw that coming from the moment their relationship started, right? I mean, we always knew they were going to split up, I think, right?
Yeah, I mean, they're an odd couple, to be frank. I think that I didn't think it was surprising because in the beginning seasons, Shiv is so dominant, and Tom seems to be incredibly submissive. There were a couple moments in this first episode where I was like, he's still that submissive, like it's still in there.
Yeah.
Like when he asks Logan about, if the marriage ends, like we're good, right? Are we good?
Well, because at the end of the day, he's playing for his spot, and that's always been
but he's
the thing.
Not stupid, right? So Logan's loyal to family over not
That is
family.
true, yeah. But
Gojo.
I will say, though, that Greg has done a ton to gain Logan's support, because in season 3, with that whole thing when he was ready to go to jail and Logan pats him on the back and says, I'll remember this, when you offered to take the fall for the company.
How funny would it be if Greg ends up running everything?
We can talk about that.
Well, yeah, it's the first episode of the last season. Let's do predictions.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Tom and Greg are up top.
So well, I think I could be wrong, but I think it's going to have to be blood, right? So I think that if it's anybody wild card pick, it would have to be Greg, because he's blood, and that's just like my view of Logan as a character. I just don't think he would give that much power to Tom. I just don't think he would. Tom, let's be honest here. Tom has a great character arc. He's an awesome
he's not
character.
Fit to be CEO.
He's not a CEO, man. He's not.
No.
Head of cruises, maybe.
Right.
But but that's about it.
Yeah.
I
mean, it's interesting.
Greg is really coming into his own. When he stood up to about the date at this part, I'm obsessed, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But like when he stood up to the lady about the date, when he's like, yeah, I brought a date or whatever, and he's, what's her name? Da 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 da.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm like basically a fourth kid. You know what I mean? Or a fifth kid or whatever it is. Like, I'm family. Who are you? He would have when he was throwing up in season 1, inside the big dummy or big costume that he was wearing. It's just funny,
and I feel like Logan's gaining respect for him too.
For Greg, yeah,
especially when obviously Tom lures him into telling Logan about him hooking up with the girl in the house with the cameras and stuff. But then when Logan
he was laughing. He goes, he told me I'm disgusting.
Yeah, and when Logan and him have that back and forth roasting each other, I think he gets a respect out of them, because he says those things to him without really fear.
Yeah.
Which is very different from Greg in season 1, like you said, who was like trying to say the perfect thing at every moment.
It's so difficult to play that, I would say.
Yeah.
Like if you're casting someone and you're trying to find that awkward
and I hear he's the opposite in real life.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure he's incredibly intelligent, but to play that big, goofy, awkward, clueless person well, I mean, they just, and Tom too. Like I was saying, like they're so,
and Connor too, kind of plays like a numbnuts too.
Connor's really good. Yep.
But I mean,
all right. Can I tell you my prediction about Gojo? Well, or do you have a point?
Well, I just wanted to finish off on that Greg note about him being CEO potentially.
Oh, go yeah.
It would fit into the because at the end of the day, this show is a drama, and but it is a satire too. Sure. So I feel like Greg ending up as the CEO would fit perfectly into that satire of this whole industry and stuff. So I hadn't thought of that, but
he comes from nothing,
right?
Because his grandfather, totally screwed him on inheritance,
right?
Because he donated all of it to some wildlife preserve or whatever.
Yeah, Greenpeace.
Very noble cause, but I'm just saying,
Greenpeace. Yeah,
and it's gone, right? So now Logan and Greg are very similar, in their storyline.
That's a good point. Yeah, and Logan could see that and be like, this guy kind of made it on his own.
Right. Now, with regard to this episode specifically and the current events that are going on.
Well, it ends obviously with the new Gen Roy's buying PGM. or striking a deal with PGM.
Yeah, and that's exactly the caveat that I was going to say.
Yes.
You're not wrong at all. Here's where I'm at. The thing is, they won't have the money to buy PGN
10 bill
until Logan sells to Gojo.
Is that a fact?
That's the thing. That's the whole thing. So they don't have any power to stop him from selling to Gojo.
Right.
They leave and say, with the profits from the Gojo deal,
because they're on the board.
Which is why this show is so fucking brilliant, man. Which is why Logan doesn't say congrats on the PGN deal. He says congrats on saying the highest number.
Yes.
That is, dude, it is so brilliant. So here's where I think that he's going to try and screw all the kids this season, or at least this early on in the season, right? He is going to do something along the lines of, like, okay, so once you make a deal, once the lawyers are involved and you make a deal and you sign the contracts, like it's held up. You can hold it up in court, right? Now he's obviously going to swoop in and save the day because he's Logan and he's
right.
You know, he creates the chaos and then
he says he always wins. Yeah,
because he creates the chaos and then also solves the problem. Yes, because he's the one he's the mastermind, right? The puppeteer. So now he's going to be like, great, you want to go ahead? Where's your 10 billion?
Yeah.
And because if something doesn't happen, because it's very within his character to be like, you know what, I don't think I'm going to sell to Gojo.
Oh,
you know, it's like it totally see that happening. Yeah. He doesn't like their values. Or he wants to, whatever.
We don't know what happened between him and Skarsgård when Roman leaves.
Right.
That when they leave the meeting too, so we don't know what they talked about there.
Right.
And they haven't told us yet. So
right.
Who knows?
I know. This show is I'm so happy that we're reviewing this, man.
And I'm so happy. I know we're like disappointed that it's ending, but I'm happy that they have an end goal and they're doing it, because the best shows have ended when they know it's time to end. Breaking Bad, Sopranos, all of them had an end goal, and this is, to me, is like, I wouldn't have been surprised if they were going more seasons, but now that they've said it, it seems like this is it. You know, now the kids are against him, and this is the final battle.
Yeah, it's a good setup. I have a question for you, and I want your opinion on this. Now, Logan, great character, as we all know. He's getting just a little long in the tooth, I would say, with regard to his age. Does he make it to the end of the series?
I was wondering that too.
Does he make it to the end of the series? Because the whole show starts off with this guy on his 80th birthday. That's season 1, episode 1.
He's supposed to be 80. Yeah.
Supposed to be 80. Has a stroke at the end of episode 1.
And then he just had his birthday in this episode too.
And throughout the whole show, he's had multiple health scares, multiple health problems, multiple things of like, I don't know if he's gonna make it.
Do I think Logan will die at some point before the show ends?
Yeah. There's something, and I think that if they're gonna do that, it's gonna have to be at like a weird, just like Logan Roy. It's gonna have to be in a weird out of left field moment where he's like on his way to do something else, and then doesn't show up or something.
I'd say probably.
You think so?
I think, yeah.
And then the company, gets transferred based on a will reading of some sort, or?
Yeah, see, that's the tough thing. Yeah.
Where does it go?
You risk disappointing people that way.
I know,
if it ends just like that. I mean, I'm sure they'll come up with some clever way if they do it, but you're right. They have like established that he's like aging and like feels like he's
not 60. He's 80.
Right.
85 at this point. Yeah. Something. I mean, he's up there.
Yeah. I mean, you could be right. You could be honest.
And it's not like the guy doesn't live a stressful life. I
mean, 100%. Yeah.
Insane.
No, I would say that I'd probably give it like a 55% chance he dies.
Interesting.
Yeah. I would go just above.
But yeah, no, I would be willing to bet money on this Gojo deal not going through in episode 2 because
Skarsgård's he's not going to be the CEO. We know that.
No, of course not. Oh, yeah, we knew that immediately. Because the only reason that you know that is because everyone who you think is going to be the CEO isn't.
Right.
That's the only way. Yeah, it's super interesting. And it's not going to be like Jerry. It's not going to be like any of these other ones. Frank. It's not going to be Frank. How about the scene? I know we got other stuff to talk about, but how about the scene where he's saying "roast me"? The one you sent me the thing of?
It's unreal.
And Frank is just like, he's a tough nut.
So good. Meanwhile, Logan's pushed Frank around more than anyone honestly.
But they're afraid.
Yeah.
They don't know what to say.
I know.
And I think this kind of goes into a little bit, not to go completely off the rails here, but this goes into a little bit about what I mean when we're talking about, Star Wars and pushing the Baby Yoda over everything else. Hear me out.
Yeah.
He hired Frank to be the accountant. He's the CFO. He's the finance guy.
Yeah.
He's the whatever. You know what I mean? He's not the personality.
Right.
Logan's the guy you want the face of the company. And he goes, you know what I mean? He established the team the way that he did for a reason. He surrounds himself with numbers people. They're not the guys in front of the camera. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
From a company standpoint.
Yes, man.
So he's sitting there. Exactly. But also, like, they have their role.
Yes. Yeah.
So then you have somebody like Logan sitting there going roast. They don't even know what to say.
Yeah. Right.
Greg would never. Season 1, he would never have said anything.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Where are your kids?" It was so good.
Yeah.
Oh, it's such a good scene, man.
So, in terms of Logan,
You could even say I get the chills, RJ.
you get the chills. Yeah. Listen, in terms of Logan, again, this is kind of off that, but like, we really don't know much about his past, and I've kind of loved that they've kept that vague. Can remember there's that one shot when they're at the Connor's home in the desert when the therapist is over, and that episode ends with Logan getting out of the pool, and you see the whip marks on his back. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And see, like, that's all they have to say.
Yeah.
And then you learn so late.
So you mean we don't need an Ellie backstory type thing?
Yeah. I mean, but you know what? It's good because like it's all we need.
I love now that they went to Scotland in the other episode.
Right, and they don't even answer that. You don't know what happened to his sister. Remember that? And somehow he feels responsible for whatever happened there.
They pull up to the house and he goes, "Yep, it's still there."
Yeah.
Doesn't even get out of the car.
Right. And I just love that they've kept that vague because I think a lot of this show is about how the childhoods have affected these characters, especially Roman, and how he acts now is like Kendall putting him in the dog cage and like all this stuff that's kind of built up. And then Logan's kind of coddled him too.
I think part of the reason that the show is so relatable from a writing standpoint, is partially because of that. So like you met me, right? Oh God, we're going on a couple of years now that we've known each other.
Well, last January or something, right?
That was before that.
Really?
It was before Thanksgiving. Yeah, because you were casting for.
Oh,
like
you're right.
October.
You're right. Yeah,
we're going on a little bit of a relationship.
Yeah.
Here.
Wow.
I'd have to like start splitting bills. Anyway. So but like when you met, you didn't know me before that point, right? We as the audience didn't know any of these characters before that point. So like when you start. But at the same time, when you and Matt or Sam talk about high school or high school days, right? I don't know anything about, but I can still laugh at it. I can still get the gist of the story, and I think that's really with these shows, it's a really cool writing technique because it lends into this character, and then it allows the audience to relate to it. Yeah. To be like, oh, I've experienced something similar to that, or I understand where the character's coming from. Or in my case, I was just saying to you before we were recording, Logan reminds me a lot of my own grandfather.
Yeah.
My grandfather's not Scottish, right? And he's not 2 feet tall. He's not a CNN, or whatever, 18, whatever. But just the way that he kind of operates, speak when spoken to. Yeah. This is, that kind of deal. Very funny in a sarcastic kind of way. Yeah. And he's the head of the household and all that stuff. And when you talk to my grandfather about his childhood, very brief. Yeah. Not a lot going on there. He'll tell you about everything. When you ask my grandfather about his childhood, he starts at age like 19 when he moved out of his house.
Yeah, right. Which is kind of like Logan, yeah.
If you ask him about anything other than that, he'll say we had Christmases in New York at my grandmother's house or in Rockport or whatever. And very few and far between memories before 18 years old. Then he meets my grandmother at 18, and the rest is like he'll talk your ear off for hours. Yeah. But it's very it's super a lot. I feel like a lot of older generations.
But that's a credit to how good the writing on this show is because you can relate. It feels real.
Yeah, but I guess the reason I bring it up though is because in contrast you have The Last of Us. Yeah. Which we've talked about every single episode.
You've definitely been more critical about that show than me, but I definitely...
Dude, look at the difference.
No, I had been critical, though, of them saying too much, too, with the writing. Sure. Sometimes they don't leave as much up to the audience. I definitely agree with you on that.
How many episodes do we get in succession, do you think?
I would assume... the first 10? 2 seasons were 10. Season 3 was 9, so I'm guessing 9 or 10. Yeah. They haven't said yet, but... I mean, listen, it's a good start. I have no reason to believe they're not going to finish us off strong. So, guys, we'll be reviewing that every week, along with Mandalorian. But guys, also, as we announced last week, podcasts are up on Apple Music, Spotify, anywhere you want. You go in a car, you don't want to look at us for a little bit, you just throw it on in the car and
but
listen.
You love our voices.
Yeah. And review those too on Apple and Spotify too. That helps out a lot.
We're trying to keep it as free as possible.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, we got to pay bills. All we need to do is listen to them. Mm-hmm. We can't keep the lights on for nothing, but we're not doing Patreon or anything like that. So subscribe to the channel. It costs nothing. And please listen to these on all podcast platforms.
And really comment too, guys. Let us know if you guys watch Succession. Let us know what you thought of that episode. Let us know what you thought of John Wick, The Mandalorian, all this news we talked about today. A lot of big news. Listen, the podcast drops every Friday at 6 p.m. Sidelines on Wednesdays. And then we have the Movie Roulette, which we're reviewing American History X, which will be dropping on Monday at 12 p.m. Guys, so tune into that. Thank you for watching. We appreciate it. Like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you next week. How you doing?